I feel like shampoo bars are the kind of thing the brands churn out, and yet they're quite difficult to get right. I think the formulations have improved over the past few years, but I just wanted to let you know some of my absolute faves, because I have tried my fair share. All of these are vegan and cruelty free, and I do have slightly more dry hair. It's actually still a little bit wet at the moment because I just tested this shampoo bar, the foamy shampoo bar, which I'm not going to review in this video because that was the first time I ever used it. I got it in the pick box. I feel like it's left my hair a little bit frizzy, but we'll just overlook that for now. My hair is naturally, like I say, quite dry. I've got sensitive scalp, and it does tend to go a little bit frizzy if I don't use a serum on top of it and sort of style it a little bit. But yeah, it tends to just naturally be a bit frizzy. Ever since I went on Accutane, my hair's just been really, really dry. It's nothing to do with veganism. I know people like to say like you get deficient if you don't eat meat, but it's nothing to do with that. I'm genuinely convinced that it was Accutane, because that was the turning point where my hair started to get a bit more dry. But anyway, I wanted to recommend my fave shampoo bars because I've tried so many, and many shampoo bars seem to leave the hair almost like squeaky clean, which is not for me. When you've got more sort of dehydrated or dry hair, you don't really want your hair, you want your hair to feel clean, your scalp to feel nice and refreshed, but you don't want to feel squeaky clean, because it's the same as washing your skin. Like, you don't want to use a face wash and then your skin feels like tight and squeaky clean afterwards, because, well, maybe that's just the more sort of, maybe if you've got oilier hair or oilier skin you might want that, but for me personally I don't like that, because I like my skin to feel clean but also hydrated and nourished and all that jazz. So that's what these all do. They all leave the hair nice and clean but not stripped. So the first one I wanted to mention is this one here. I'm waving it around. I've used this a good few times, as you can see, for a good few months, and this is by the brand Naturtint. It doesn't look the most sexy. Doesn't look very appealing. That's the thing with shampoo bars. Most of them come in a box, but once you get rid of the cardboard box, the packaging isn't the sexiest, but that's okay. That's all right. It's not all about packaging. It's about reducing our waste where we can. Also, side note, I use shampoo bars. I like alternate. So I'll use a shampoo bar one time, then I'll maybe use a shampoo in a bottle the next time, just because I like to alternate my hair care. But even if you don't stick to a shampoo bar religiously, you might be able to just sort of use it now and again to help reduce the amount of regular shampoo you go through. Just a little top tip. But yes, this one is really, really good. It's actually a shampoo and conditioner in one. It smells really zesty. It smells really lemony. I'm always quite hesitant for testing out products that are 2-in-1s, because sometimes I think it works, and sometimes I think, well, how are you doing that 2-in-1? Like, is this just a gimmick? Like, for the ease of convenience, is it just a gimmick? Because some things require 2 steps, like shampoo and conditioning. Sometimes I think, well, I need to shampoo, wash it off, and then condition and wash it off. But this actually does leave the hair, I will admit defeat on this one, because it does leave the hair really nice and clean, but also conditioned. Smells really zesty and lemony, like I say, and it's very good. You can get it in Holland and Barrett. I do recommend this one a lot. I hadn't actually heard of this brand before. I'm a big fan. And just to give you a reference, I have tried the Lush shampoo bars before and I really didn't like them. I found that they did nothing for my hair. They dried my hair out quite a lot. I think maybe they might be a good option if you've got oilier hair, but I tried the Scenic one and the Montalbano, I think it's called, shampoo bar. Didn't like them at all. Nothing good about them I can report back to you, I'm afraid. That was a weirdly phrased sentence. Just to give you a point of reference, I really like these and I did not like those. The next brand I wanted to mention is this one. This is Faith in Nature, who are a lovely UK based brand. I don't know if they're international because they're based in Manchester, and they're quite a sort of small, not a small scale brand, but they're quite ethical. You find them in Oxfam quite often, and you can buy these online. I got this at vegankindsupermarket.com, which is a wicked site. If you ever want to treat yourself to some vegan food that maybe you can't find at the supermarket, or you just fancy a nice vegan food haul, I really recommend it. It's very good. They've got some really nice brands on there. I think I did a whole Vegan Kind Supermarket haul on my channel, so I'll link that if you want to see some of the brands you can get. But yes, they have a beauty section and that's where I picked this one up. But I think you can get it at Boots now and some other places online. But they recently launched, well, I say recently, 2019, they launched these shampoo bars. They do have hair care already, but it's all in bottles. Like, it's refillable, but it's all in bottles. And they've got hand soaps and hand washes and things. But yes, their shampoo bars I was very pleasantly surprised with. This dragon fruit one is really, really nice. It's kind of like lightly fragranced. It does have fragrance on the ingredients list, I believe, towards the end. Yeah, it's got parfum on the ingredients list, but it doesn't irritate my scalp. But obviously if you are super sensitive to fragrance, you may not love this one, but it's really, really nourishing. It foams nicely, or like lathers nicely, washes the hair really well, and yeah, leaves the hair really quite nice. And I've got a couple on the go at the moment. I think one of these is the coconut one they've got, which is nice. It's not as, I don't like it as much as this one. They have a lavender one that's really nice as well. I think it's lavender and geranium. They're all really nice, but my favourite happens to be the dragon fruit one, and it's also free from SLS and parabens, which I know some people like to avoid SLS in hair care, so that's that one. And then last but not least, the last brand I wanted to give a shout out to is this one. This is Beauty Cubes, and I have mentioned Beauty Cubes quite a few times on my channel. I would say if you've got really dry hair and you want the most conditioning and hydrating out of all of these, I would recommend to start with this one, because this is the best for sort of tackling frizz. As you can see, my hair just kind of naturally has a little bit of frizz to it. I think this one might be a little bit frizzing. I don't know if I love this, just like first impressions anyway, but you can see like my hair just naturally lays a bit frizzy, but this really helps with that. It's very, very hydrating. I think it's got pro vitamin B5 in it. I think it's coconut based as well. It's, yeah, coconut milk based, so not coconut oil, because I don't like coconut oil in hair care at all. I don't like coconut oil as an ingredient, full stop, but that's just me. This one actually doesn't have added fragrance. I think it's got essential oils in, but it's almost like a tiny bit zesty, like a tiny bit orangey, but it's not overpowering at all. And this is how they come. Sort of looks like a Rubik's cube, but each cube is one hair wash, so it's individual cubes per hair wash. And you crumble it in your hand underneath running water, or you crumble it in your hand and you add a little bit of water and it turns into a paste. These are very fragile, so they're much more fragile than a shampoo bar. So this is like a solid, but this is just kind of compacted together, and as soon as I press it, it will start to crumble in my hands. So you make a little bit of a paste, work it into your hair, and then use it as you would a handful of shampoo in your hair. And like I say, they're very hydrating, really, really good. I would say the only downside of these is the fact that, well, I suppose you go through them quite quickly, because one cube is one hair wash. For me, I can use half a cube and that's one hair wash, but yeah, it depends how much hair you got and how thick your hair is, I guess. But the other downside I wanted to mention is that they're not the most practical in terms of packaging. I'm more of a bath person than a shower person, so I don't tend to find it any bother, because when I need them, I just take one out of the bathroom cupboard. But you wouldn't be able to use this package in the shower, because you can't get this package wet. Like, it's not the most practical ever. Whereas a shampoo bar you can keep on your shower shelf as you would a soap. This one, you can't really do that. So I would say that's probably a downside, but it's just the nature of the product, I guess. But I did want to mention they also have an oily haired version. So this one is for normal to dry hair in the pink packet, and I think in the green packet maybe is the oily haired version, and I think they have another one as well. So yeah, a couple of different varieties from this brand, and they are very popular. They've got really good reviews, so I do recommend. And they also have like hair masks and conditioners as well, which are a similar concept. You can see this one's a bit more powdery. They come in these cubes. God, this reminds me of like the pyramids, you know, when they do archaeology, they sort of have to like dust off the specimens. That's what this reminds me of. Anyway, yeah, this I don't tend to reach for too much, just because I have some hair masks that I really love. They come in bottles, but I've got some really firm favourites in the hair mask category, which I do have I think I've got a video on my favourite hair care, but just to update you, my favourites at the moment are the Body Shop Truly Nourishing Banana Hair Mask, which is incredible, the Dizziac Deep Conditioner, if I want a really, really deep conditioner for the ends of my hair, that one's really good, and the Bleach London Resurrection Hair Mask is great. It's really, really nice. Packaging I don't love, because it's in an aluminium tube and then it's quite hard to get the last little bit out, but as a lightweight but intensive hair mask, I really recommend that one. And you can use it all over your head as well, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. So I don't reach for this too often, but I thought I would just mention they do have a couple of other ranges. And that is pretty much it. Those are my top faves. So Naturtint, Faith in Nature and Beauty Cubes are my favourites to date. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. If you've got any shampoo bars to recommend, I love testing new ones out. So let me know what you've tried and what your hair type is, and hopefully we can find a shampoo bar to match everyone that wants one, because they are a great way to reduce your waste. There's so much waste from the beauty and hair care world, like it's actually ridiculous. It's crazy how many plastic bottles are out there on the shelves right now that the ones that are being produced at the moment are on the shelves right now and have been disposed of. It is mind-boggling, and a lot of them are coloured plastic or black plastic that's really hard to recycle, or even if it goes for recycling, it doesn't necessarily get recycled. It is really quite terrible when you think about it. So if you can do a tiny little thing such as, you know, washing your hair, if you can use it, if you can sort of grip something like this, obviously it's down to accessibility and your own personal preference, but if you can, I really do recommend picking one up and giving it a go. And they're good for travel as well. It's very lightweight. This would last loads of washes. I could take this on holiday and it would last loads of washes. I hope this video was informative. I need to put a serum on my hair because it looks frizztastic. But thanks ever so much for watching, and hopefully I will catch you very soon. Bye. Thank you.